I don't think Alabama's making the college football playoff this year. Those doubting Saban, those doubting the Tide this year will be proven correct. Now, it's not like they haven't made the college football playoff before. They missed it twice so far in 9 years. I think it's going to be the third time in 10 years they do not make the playoff. But this could be the first time preseason in the college football playoff era where we can actually say Alabama's not going to make the college football playoff and you're not going to get laughed off the radio. You're not going to get laughed at by all your friends. This is legit. This is not the Alabama we have seen the last 15 years. Alabama is not making the college football playoff. And the biggest reason why I could say that confidently here on August 14th, before any game has been played, is for one simple reason. Offense. And I'll boil it down even smaller than that. Quarterback. In a quarterback-driven sport now, Alabama does not have the quarterback they need in order to make the college football playoff. And I don't care what wonders Nick Saban's going to work in terms of motivational speeches, in terms of changing the offense around, in terms of getting this defense to play at an all-time high level, it's not going to be enough to win the SEC, win the SEC West, or be one of the 4 teams in the final year of the 4-team college football playoff era. But they don't have a quarterback because when you look at what Nick Saban did this offseason, he's telling you, we got no one. Now, they had Jalen Milroe, who is a highly coveted recruit sitting behind Bryce Young. We got a little bit of, experience to him playing in an A&M game. Did not play very well whatsoever. But what Nick Saban did this offseason was very rare. After, this is important, after the spring game was over, Nick Saban jumped back into the transfer portal and took Notre Dame quarterback Tyler Buchner off the Irish and brought him down to Tuscaloosa. Here's why that's a big deal, and here's why that's a sign that Saban has no confidence in his system, or in his offense, I should say. You are not going to get a starting quarterback from a school like Notre Dame to come on down to your school if you didn't need his help. Right? Tyler Buchner is not leaving Notre Dame for Alabama just to ride the bench. Just to be, hold a clipboard and maybe one day it's a blowout, I can go and get some reps. You're the starter at Notre Dame. You're not leaving that to go be a backup or a clipboard holder for the Crimson Tide. Nick Saban went there because he realized what I have in my quarterback room right now going into training camp is not good at all. It is not the standard we have seen when you had Bryce Young, Mac Jones in his 1 year, Tua Tagovailoa, even Jalen Hurts. None of those quarterbacks right now Saban has is on that level. That's why late after spring football is over, when he got a true sense of the first time of what his quarterback room looked like during spring ball, he realized, I got nothing. And you want to know how desperate he was? It's not like Tyler Buchner was lining it up either. There's a reason why Tyler Buchner left Notre Dame to go to Alabama. He was not going to be the starter for the Irish either this year. He's not very good. He's not coming to save the day. He's not riding in on a red cape or in an elephant hat saying, I'm here to take Nick Saban's legacy to the next level, and we're going 11-1, and we'll see you at the college football playoff. No siree. Tyler Buchner last year for Notre Dame made 3 starts. He got injured, missed a ton of time, but he was at least a starter early on when he was in there. Notre Dame's offense is not very good, and he had 6 touchdown passes, 8 interceptions, 3 starts. That's what Alabama's relying on to save their season, to save their offense. A guy at Notre Dame who threw 6 touchdowns to 8 picks. Does that sound like someone who's going to save the day? Does that sound like a quarterback riding in and pulling a Joe Burrow 2.0 from the transfer portal and just turning things around? Absolutely not. And when you look around too, just beyond quarterback, the offense is concerning. Long are the days where you had an offensive receiver room of Jalen Waddle, Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs, Devontae Smith, all on one team, all playing on the field at the same time. Remember that? In the Tua days and even a little bit with the Mac Jones era, you had loads of first-round talent at receiver. Those guys are gone, and they have not replaced them whatsoever. Go back to last year. Bryce Young is a great quarterback, by far deserving of going number 1 overall. The only reason Alabama last year was 11-2 and had a chance to beat Tennessee and had a chance to beat LSU, the only reasons were because Bryce Young. Because he was that good. And a little bit Jahmyr Gibbs too, to give him respect. But that was it. There are no game-breaking wide receivers. There's no great tight end that was uncoverable. These former, Alabama greats that we have seen time and time again, no one is on that team this year. This is the first time in a long time we can say Alabama does not have a lot of proven talent on offense. They have no proven talent on offense, I should say. Let's take it a step further. And there's no reason to believe that Nick Saban's going to work his magic again this year. Now with the schedule, now with the division they're in, now with the conference they're in, and now with how deep this year college football is. No one's to admit it. Pac-12 is legit. It's a shame this is coming in their last year. But you have 5 teams in the Pac-12 ranked in the top 20. They have a lot of legitimately talented teams and a lot of legit college football playoff contenders. Big Ten, this could be the biggest or the most top-heavy the Big Ten has been in years, with Penn State, Ohio State, and Michigan all within the top 7. There are a lot of talented teams out there this year that are just, frankly, better than Alabama. It's not often we say that, but when it does happen, we have to call it out. So this is your chance right now to realize and get in early, if you will, on doubting Alabama and being proven right. I think, if anything, the AP poll in voting Alabama in their lowest spots in 2009 was being too generous. I think LSU going into this year is better than Alabama. I think USC going into this year is better than Alabama. And I don't think we're going to see Nick Saban, who has proven to be at his best when the doubters are at their highest and at their loudest. I don't think this is going to be the year where Nick Saban's going to kind of work that magic and get another 12-0, 11-1 team into the college football playoff. They just don't have the talent on offense. They don't have the bodies. This might be the only time we could say that. But that is absolutely the case this year. Alabama does not have the horses on offense at the skill positions or quarterback to get them to the college football playoff. So even though we started the segment by talking about how when you doubt Alabama, you lose, this is one of the situations where I think we are going to be right. And so we could call it disrespect for the AP voters voting Alabama the lowest they've been in the preseason since 2009, but how can I call it disrespect? How can I say they are wrong? For the first time since 2015, Alabama did not get a single first-place vote in the preseason poll. How can I say that the voters are missing the boat on Alabama? I can't. I can't because they are right. The Crimson Tide this year are not making the college football playoff. This is not the Alabama team we've been accustomed to watching year in and year out for the last 15 years. Nick Saban has done the best job any college coach has ever done. We're not besmirching, by the way, his legacy. This is not me coming on the radio and talking about how bad Nick Saban is. This guy sucks and fire him. We're not doing that. His legacy, whether they make the college football playoff or not this year, is not getting touched. Guy has 7 national titles. No one's taking those away from him. All we're doing here is calling like we see it. This year, Alabama has taken a step back. And it's okay to admit that. It's okay to recognize that and say, you know what? Yeah, I don't believe in Alabama this year. And for the first time in a long time, you would be right.